Left 4 Dead 2 had an arcade port in Japan. This isn't a joke, though I'm sure many of you already know this. It was a collaboration of Taito and Valve, and it lasted till 2017 of all things. Went on for a decent while. It was not the first time they collaborated, there was a Half-Life 2 arcade port as well. It's just kinda strange to consider. It's basically a cut-down version of Left 4 Dead 2 put into an arcade machine, where you insert credits to keep playing, and the amount of time you have is dependent on how many credits you inserted. There were online events, there are new weapons, new survivors. It reuses the campaigns of base Left 4 Dead 2 around the time of the Cult Stream update. It's pretty impressive. It got dumped online in late 2019 or so, and some people have talked about it, played through it. A lot of assets got ported onto the workshop, but I haven't seen a lot of people talk about the game itself. So I found a version on Internet Archive and I downloaded it for myself. I wanted to see what it was like and try it out for myself. The results were interesting, honestly. It kind of makes me wish it would come to Steam, though I really doubt that'll ever happen. So I'm gonna dive into Left 4 Dead Survivors. I'm gonna explore what it has to offer, what's unique about it, and what else could come of it. Because honestly, it's the closest thing we have to Left 4 Dead 3, for now at least. So, Left 4 Dead Survivors. It's made for a Japanese audience, designed for arcade play, though you can still play it normally. The guy who ported this to PC designed it so you don't have to worry about coins and everything of the sort. You can basically play it as long as you want. Instead of our usual survivors, we have 4 new ones made for the game. Yusuke Kudo, a Japanese college student, Haruka Hirose, a Japanese high school student, Sarah Kirishima, a Japanese-American tour guide, and Blake Jordan, an American bartender. They take the place of the Left 4 Dead 2 survivors, though they remain throughout the Left 4 Dead 1 campaigns as well. The campaigns are organized kind of in release order, at least for Left 4 Dead 2. So it's the first 5 Left 4 Dead 2 campaigns, then the Passing, then the Sacrifice, then the Left 4 Dead 1 campaigns leading up to Cold Stream. Yeah, this is pre-Last Stand, so if you really liked that version of Left 4 Dead 2, you'll be liking this. It means less shotgun ammo for the Tier 1 shotguns, the original view models for weapons, no Last Stand campaign, and so on. You choose a level, choose your survivors, choose your difficulty, and then you start out. The biggest difference is that this plays a lot like Versus. The game tracks how far you get through chapters, it has arrows to guide you along the way, and it counts your score depending on the survivors you save, the damage you deal, the infected you kill, and overall how you progress through the level. It does lean into the arcade aspects more, and that's unique. It's score-based in a way. I mean, you don't get anything for winning outside of, like, victory animations, but it's fun to play through the campaigns in this form. It's sort of like an official mod in a way, or maybe even an expansion pack, I guess, because it reuses the existing levels. But the campaigns themselves, I don't know if they're really tied by a central story. I don't speak Japanese, and I can't really read the menus or things of that sort outside of the ones that are written in English. So I'm assuming a similar story is being carried out. I'm not really sure if the level order would have it make sense, though. Interestingly, the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors show up in the Passing, and I'm not really sure how it would work with the Sacrifice, since one of them would canonically die, unless they defibbed each other. Who knows? But enough about the campaigns. Let's talk about the meat and potatoes, the new content. Because there is a lot of content that was added into this. I'm sure some of you have seen the new weapons pop up in different mods in the workshop, and let me tell you, there is a lot made for this. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I guess I'll just go down the list. There are new Tier 1 and Tier 2 guns, along with some new Tier 3 guns as well. They sort of serve as side grades to existing weapons, and you can tell this because they even sort of reuse animations, though in a clever way. There are some slight tweaks and such to make them look good and to fit with whatever models they have going. So like there are a variety of new SMGs. There's an MP7, there's a Carl Gustav M45, there's a police shotgun with orange furniture, there are different automatic rifles you can equip, like an AK-12 that fires slow but deals a lot of damage. There's an AUG that is really fast but really inaccurate. There's an anti-material sniper rifle that only has 10 shots but deals more damage. A Walter sniper rifle that fires very quickly but has 20 shots. Just a lot of stuff like that. I mean, even a Saiga 12, an AA-12, a ton of guns. And their designs honestly fit pretty well with the existing Left 4 Dead art style. It's cool. I mean, it's strange to come across these unique guns in different campaigns, just have them kind of there. They're fun to play around with. I guess my complaint would be is that they reuse the existing sounds. None of these have unique firing sounds, and some of them use ones that don't really fit their designs. So there's a Vector SMG that has a silencer on it, but it uses the unsilenced Uzi firing sounds. But I mean, it is what it is. That can't really be changed. I tried to get some add-ons working for changing the firing sounds, but they didn't really seem to work.
もしもし。ハロー。俺はユウスケ。4名だ。橋の西側にいる。俺たちは人間だよ。ゾンビは喋れねえだろ。お前は免疫があるのか。感染者に遭遇したか。おう、そうだ。レスキュー隊セブンへ。保菌者に対応できる体制が整っていますか。
There aren't the CSS weapons either, so don't expect to come across the AWP or the MP5 or the knife. Though interestingly, there is a bolt-action sniper rifle added. There's also a PKM, an FN Mini-Me, a China Lake, a lot of stuff, even some new pistols, though they were tougher to come across. Like a Glock 17, a Makarov, a Golden Deagle, all of which use the regular Deagle's firing sounds. The big thing is that it's kind of tough to tell at a glance how they function. You kind of have to figure it out as you go. You can surmise some things immediately, like there's lower ammo for the MP7, but others you kind of have to figure out as you go. Like, again, the AUG being a bullet hose, it's really inaccurate. The AK-12 being slow firing, but very powerful to the point of being almost overpowered against tanks, and such. They kind of fit different roles, like damage dealing, just hosing down environments with bullets, and I'd say they fit pretty well. I mean, barring the AK-12, against the tank, it's overpowered, but the big downside is that it's just slower against regular infected. So if you're getting rushed by a horde, it's not quite as viable. There are also some new melee weapons as well, like a spiked baseball bat, a spear, or one of those, was it a Gundao? Yeah, one of those. I saw one of those pop up in campaigns. They're cool overall. And I would say they add some unique personality to Left 4 Dead survivors. There's a downside to some of this though, and that is that the game had to be scaled back in terms of gore and violence and such for the audience they were dealing with. I guess to get around restrictions. Even the Resident Evil games aren't as violent in Japan, despite coming from there. So there's no dismemberment, the blood is black, and enemy ragdolls disappear pretty quickly. This does mean that, if for whatever reason you have performance issues, this runs smoothly since you don't have a lot of ragdolls around at once. But it also means that one of the core things that made Left 4 Dead 2 cool is missing. So you're not dismembering enemies with shotguns, you aren't blasting parts off of them, you don't have a pile of bodies when you're done with a gunfight. Everything just kind of gets cleaned up by the end of it. Which is a bummer. I mean, I love the dismemberment system of Left 4 Dead 2. It's one of the best I've seen outside of, like, Dead Island 2. I know they had to compromise where they could to make the arcade port work. It's a shame it can't really be re-enabled. Going through the files, I saw that this was the low-violence version of Left 4 Dead 2. So in theory, you could probably re-enable the gore and violence with the right add-ons and such, but I already bricked Left 4 Dead Survivors trying to re-enable the CSS weapons. I'm not going to do that again. I'd love to see what sort of events were going on. I can only really speculate, because I, again, wasn't around for that. I wasn't in Japan at the time, and the game only surfaced in America after the online services shut down. There is some flair, though, that I can see in the way weapons are handled. In addition to the regular existing Left 4 Dead weapons, there are special versions of them with upgrades. They aren't immediately visible, but usually they have like better accuracy, more ammo loaded and such, and they come with special paint jobs. Some of them look really cool, like there's a version of the MAC-10 that has this blue paint job that makes it look like Jacket's Piece from Payday 2. Others are not quite as good looking. There's a reskin for the pump shotgun that just kind of slaps some purple on the texture. Doesn't look all that good, but there are some other ones that look nice. I really liked the blue pistol reskin, and it also came with 10 more shots loaded, which was nice. The strangest thing about Survivors, though, is what's under the hood. At first I thought it was some installation problem on my end, but digging through the files, there are some community campaigns that were included with the game. I'm not sure if they were intended for, like, events or stuff of that sort, or if the guy porting them included them for some reason or another, but if they were always there, outside of the port, then it seems like Valve either considered including some community campaigns, or they were going to, for past events. These include Die Scraper Redux, City 17, and this Japanese campaign called Yama, which is set in this downtown bustling area. Darkwoods is also there. They're pretty cool, honestly. You can only access them through the developer console, but fortunately, developer console loads the moment you start the port. You just type in maps and then an asterisk, and it'll load all the map names for you, so you can just load into them directly. You choose a survivor from there, and everything is good to go. It's pretty straightforward. I even got survival mode working by loading it through the developer console, and it worked. I mean, it had a HUD set up and everything, it tracked the time I survived, and it had a leveling system for completing it. That was strange. It made me wonder if that was a past event or another option that I hadn't been able to access, or that I hadn't understood because I don't read Japanese. I could load Mutations through the developer console as well, but they were iffy. Like, Survival Versus didn't work because apparently I needed people on the other team, so I couldn't play as an infected. Gibfest did work, and while there wasn't any gibbing per se, it did spawn a ton more infected than usual, which made beating the passing near impossible. I did have fun wailing away at hordes of zombies with an infinite ammo M60 though, so props for that. Sadly, you can't re-enable gore in this way because it's a file-related issue, not a console command-related issue. It's kind of a mystery, and I'd love to learn more about what all went into making this, what led to the collaboration, and how successful it was. Because it's cool. I liked this. I liked the survivors. I mean, I couldn't understand their dialogue. Their personalities and designs were charming enough. They fit their settings. I liked how they recontextualized the outbreak, so that these survivors who spoke Japanese and such would be in America at the time of the outbreak happening. and their own reactions to seeing like the infected for the first time, to fighting and killing them and such. I mean, that sounds like a cool storyline, and it would have been neat to see like a translation, or even just a subbing for that matter. I wonder if any fan subbers would do that, if any would exist for a title like this. Though I'm not sure how flexible the system would be. I mean, if it's a source game, then in theory you could mod it enough. It doesn't seem too strapped down. Honestly, I would highly recommend checking out Left 4 Dead Survivors. It's on Internet Archive. It's about 10 gigabytes roughly. It's worth it though. I mean, it's free, and it's a really cool experience. I like going through it, seeing what weapons would pop up, trying them out, seeing how the different survivors would react, how they would adapt to the environments they'd be put in, and then delving under the hood from there, seeing what else the game had to offer. It's a shame that some of the campaigns, the custom ones, didn't work as well. Like, I tried loading into Suicide Blitz 2, and I was stuck outside of the level, clinging onto a ledge. Darkwoods played pretty well. Dice Scraper crashed. Yama worked fine, though. Yama almost felt like an event-related campaign. Yama was a custom campaign made in 2016. It wasn't even made for the arcade port, though I would have believed it if you'd told me. I wonder if Valve is gonna negotiate with the creators to have them in this port. I mean, I guess they wouldn't really need to for City 17 since it uses so many of their assets, but I don't know. Valve's pretty chill about that kind of thing. At least they were before Coldstream and the Invasion update, Hunt Down the Freeman, kind of messed that up. Yama would have fit well for an event though, and there are more levels and such that I want to delve into. I loaded up this Soundscape level out of curiosity, and it does work. It just needs matte Fulbright so you can properly see everything. So those are my thoughts on Left 4 Dead Survivors. It would be nice if Valve brought it to Steam, but kinda like the Half-Life 2 arcade port and Gunman Chronicles, I kinda doubt that'll happen. I don't think there's enough interest and desire on their part to do so, but at least it's easily accessible on Internet Archive. It's just one download, and you just run the windowed or full screen BAT files for it. Thank you to whoever ported it, you did an awesome job, and I'm glad people have been able to experience the game through this way, because it's not like we can port over an entire arcade machine. This is the best thing. Thank you all for watching. Take care.